London Heathrow hosts to 78 million passengers, nearly 500,000 flights, and one very unusual animal reception centre. Animals passing through Heathrow come here to be checked in.
Oh, he's really cute.
Also known as the Ark, it's equipped to welcome almost any species through its doors.
Its feet are massive, not that big.
From reptiles and livestock to pets and predators. It's up to the Ark to make sure everyone is clear to enter the country.
Oh, textbook, Dan, textbook.
More than 200,000 animals passed through last year alone. And its dedicated team of over 40 staff are on hand every hour of every day.
Where's your water pot?
And are always prepared to expect the unexpected.
Ooh.
Today on Animal Airport.
Oh my God, it's huge. That's a big box.
A giant pet needs picking up from its plane.
I don't know how I'm going to fit that one in.
There's a close encounter with a macaw.
I'm gonna get bitten. I'm gonna lose an ear.
And the lives of a large shipment of animals are in danger.
Looking at the species listed on the boxes, there's some stuff that's quite hardy, but on the flip side there's things like frogs which don't travel well at all. Whoa, tiger.
Every creature landing at Heathrow Airport must pass through the Animal Reception Centre to check it's being imported legally. Today, 3 birds have arrived from San Francisco. Holly, a blue and gold macaw, and cockatiels Squeaky and Sam, who are all en route to their new home in Yorkshire.
Just chopping up food for the birds that have just arrived.
While they're unloaded, ready to be checked, Animal Health Officer Heather is preparing their dinner.
Just chopping them up into really different sizes. So we've got like a macaw and a cockatiel. So yeah, just making sure we've got a varied amount of fruit for them. Just like us, they need balanced and varied diets. So they get some of their proteins and things from the seeds and their nutrients and from the fruit. And they really like it as well. Birds love fruit.
Along with having a bite to eat, the birds will need to have their identity checked to make sure they're not carrying any diseases before they can leave.
Hello, you're gonna have to get off the door, honey. Ooh, got its paperwork here. This is Holly. Your name Holly? Hi, Holly. Oh, I think they're all together. You can see the little cockatiel in the background. Is that your friend? Please don't bite me, yeah? We can be friends.
Holly's ID is on a microchip under her skin, so Heather will have to get up close in order to read it. Something she's never done with a bird before.
I love a macaw. I like looking at them, but I don't necessarily like touching them. They have these like gigantic beaks and like massive wingspans and huge claws, and they're generally terrifying.
This is such a great idea. If he flies, you guys are gonna catch him, not me. No biting.
Holly clearly isn't going to make Heather's first time easy. The centre reunites thousands of owners with their travelling pets every year. And dogs are some of their most frequent flyers. Animal Health Officer Vicky is airside to pick up 5 pooches arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa, heading to several different families in the UK.
South Africa's quite a popular place for us to get animals from. Every day we'll get quite a few animals off the South African flights.
And she's expecting a heavy load.
We know we've got one dog at 80 kilos, which will be quite a large dog, and I probably won't be able to fit everything on. So Jazz is in one of the other vans, so hopefully she'll be able to come and help us. Once we get there, we'll see how big the boxes are, see what we can fit on. Oh my God, it's huge. That's a big box.
Looks like Vicky is going to need that second van.
Normally they only have like a bar in the middle, but this dog's so tall that it's actually got 2 bars across. It's a very tall dog. Not the strongest of people.
With 2 vans at the ready, it's all hands on deck.
Thank you. I don't know how I'm going to fit that one in.
I'll take the big one if you want.
Good job you came.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I'm a bit wet.
All the dogs on board, the vehicles return to base.
Just heading back now so we can get them into kennels and offloaded, give them some food and water so they can have a bit of a rest from travelling. Hello, Waggy Tails. It's a bit quieter here, isn't it?
The largest of the group is Buster, a Rhodesian ridgeback named for the strip of fur that runs in a reverse direction along their backs. Buster belongs to one family, while Boston Terrier Dexter and Emma, a Boer Bull breed, belong to another.
So these 2 dogs are going to be able to share a kennel together, so at least if they're at home and they like each other, then they can have that comfort here as well, so it should hopefully calm them down a bit.
The Boer Bull is a South African breed known for its muscular and powerful build. They are fiercely loyal and popular as guard dogs. But according to her owners, Emma is a more sensitive soul.
She can be startled by bright light and people carrying large foreign objects. If there is a fear it has, an allergy it has, anything like that, it just helps us because we know nothing about these animals when they arrive. Any information that we can get is always helpful.
And this nervous customer is no lightweight.
Hello, can we have some more muscle to the vehicle bay, please? 2 people preferably, thanks.
Many travellers that come through the Animal Reception Centre need a helping hand, and the latest arrivals are no exception. A large shipment of nearly 2,500 creatures from Accra in Ghana has been refused entry into the United States. They're on their way back to Africa via the centre. Because they've had an extended journey, Deputy Manager Ross needs to work out how long they've been in their boxes.
Unfortunately, looking at the species listed on the boxes, there's some stuff that's quite hardy, but on the flip side, there's things like frogs, which don't travel well at all, small frogs.
Ross calls the airline to find out when they're due to depart.
They've arrived, I haven't looked at them yet. If they're all okay, when will they go?
Tomorrow.
And what time?
I believe around
2 o'clock in the afternoon, yeah? All right, thanks a lot. Bye. From what I've been told by the airline is they just didn't have the correct entry paperwork for the States. So they've probably been packed up about then from about Saturday or Sunday, probably early Sunday morning this stuff's been on the go from. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll be going back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, so another 24 hours probably from now. 5 days on the run.
Being packaged for a journey that should have taken around 17 hours, but instead has taken 5 days, means there's a very real chance that some animals in the shipment may not have survived.
So ordinarily we just check 10%, but it'd been in that extended journey, so we really need to sort of be checking through the whole lot really.
There's no time to waste. But this is not a one-man job.
Right, I'm going to get some help. So it's going to take me forever.
Over in the bird wing, 2 cockatiels and a macaw from San Francisco are having their IDs checked by Animal Health Officer Heather. It's her very first time at reading a bird's microchip.
Ooh, fruity kebab.
And Holly, the golden blue macaw, isn't helping.
She gets a real grip on it. Oh, she's now sat on it. Off you go. Come on. step back. Onto this one. There we go. Good job. Oh my God, please don't go on my hand. This is not where I want to be in life. Please stop. Oh, I'm definitely going to get bitten today. Oh, I'm going to get bitten. I'm going to lose an ear.
Holly has foiled 3 microchip readers, so Vet Naomi has another plan to get the chip scanned, using a bird net.
It's a shame if we have to, though, because it's a lot of stress for them.
Yeah, but if we don't read the microchip, we have a problem. So.
Restraining Holly in a net is a last resort, but it will give them a better chance of reading the chip without harming her.
I don't really want to do this. I'm sorry, Bubba. I know. I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. All right, darling.
I was terrified to begin with, but you kind of just have to get over it. By the end of the situation with Holly, and we were best buds. So yeah, it was. It's always a nice challenge.
At least now we've got the chip, we know that it can go on, as long as obviously all the paperwork's fine. Holly can carry on her journey back to her owners, which is nice. She's obviously loved. I mean, her paperwork has a little picture of her at home, so someone will obviously be missing her.
In reception, owners June and Dan are eagerly waiting to take Holly and her friends home to Yorkshire.
Holly's quite friendly. The cockatiel, Sam, he speaks English. Squeaky is very loud. They will tend to dive bomb Holly, so they think they can land on top of her head, which she doesn't like.
Back in the bird wing, it's Sam and Squeaky's turn to have their identities checked.
The cockatiels are different, so whereas we have to chase Holly around with a microchip reader, these guys have got special little rings around their feet. So each ring has a specific number, just like the microchip number, that associates to that bird.
Both cockatiels are fitted with leg rings, so this should be a much easier job. First up, it's Sam.
That could be a 6 if you look at it from that angle.
Yeah, it could be, but it's really a 6. Wow,
Yeah.
I can understand a 6. Yeah, let's understand a 6.
Squeaky is next.
Okay, Bub. I know.
And there's a problem.
Does it have a number?
There is no number. Are you kidding?
It doesn't look like it has a number.
There is something in the other leg. No. It's not paper, but there still is none. There is no number at all.
If they can't find his ID code, then Squeaky won't be allowed into the country. In the centre's loading bay, Animal Health Officer Vicky is trying to get some large dogs from South Africa off the vans and into the kennels.
Oh, Emma, it's okay, Emma. You get to see Dexter soon.
Boer Bull Emma is a little nervous.
She's going to share with Dexter, her Boston Terrier friend. So hopefully once she sees him, that will settle her down a bit and she'll feel a bit calmer.
As Emma gets scared by strangers and noise, her 11-hour flight would have been quite an ordeal.
Ready?
So the sooner she's back with her pal Dexter, the better.
Ooh, thank you. It's all right, Emma. Good girl.
Last off the van is Buster,
Hello, Buster.
the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
To save our backs, we're just going to walk him into a kennel. Oh, lovely sit. Well done, Buster. Thanks, Buster. Oh, there he is. Come on. Good boy, Buster.
Also known as African lion hounds, Rhodesian Ridgebacks were bred to help big game hunters track down lions in the wild and hold them at bay.
Hey, this one's yours. Buster. Wait there, that's the door. I'll open it up in a sec, all right?
While Buster is happily settled, Emma won't come out of her box. But Animal Health Officer Jazz has a plan.
Yeah, so just release Dexter into the kennel, hoping that when Emma sees him, she'll be more likely to go into the kennel because she's quite nervous. Hi Emma. Sometimes dogs completely change personalities when they see their leads, but I don't know if it'll work. Come on Emma. Can you jump down? Go, go.
Even with Dexter close by for support, Emma isn't budging. It's time to call in more muscle.
Hi guys, can we get a hand quickly in quarantine dog wing just to lift a dog off the trolley? Thanks.
1, 2, 3.
She's nervous.
Hi, Emma.
At last, she's out.
So everyone's released now, hopefully calming down a little bit. It's been a bit of a stressful journey for them. Paperwork just needs to be checked over.
Their microchips have been read, and the documents show that all the dogs have been vaccinated against rabies, so they're cleared to enter the country. Emma and Dexter's courier home to their family is the first to arrive. Shortly followed by Buster's lift.
Very excited. Boy. Oh, good boy. Perfect. Must like our box. Wait, just grab this. Oh, my pen's got slobber on it.
As well as fighting to keep animal diseases out of the UK, the ARC's other top priority is animal welfare. In the isolation room, Deputy Manager Ross is checking on the health of some cold-blooded critters en route back to Ghana after they were refused entry to the US. Animal Health Officer Stewart and work experience Denny are lending a hand with the large shipment.
So literally what you're doing is, Danny, you are just opening them up, checking there's no dead in there, and then quick. Yeah. Situations like this are not an everyday occurrence. It's quite a labour-intensive task to go through this whole shipment, so the more hands, obviously, the better. But at the same time, it's good because people can sort of get involved, see the various roles that we do. You know, this is what sort of experience is for, you know.
Everything's interesting as the other, but yeah, I definitely prefer the big reptile shipment.
It's a good job Denny is keen. There are 2,500 animals to be checked, including spotted bush snakes, monitor lizards, and tree frogs. The team have their work cut out.
Can't get much better than that. Desperate to get out of the bag, so yeah. Oh mate, these are absolutely fine, aren't they?
So far, so good.
From first impressions, from what myself and Stuart have looked at, they're really good actually.
The next box contains the animals that Ross is most concerned about. The tree frogs.
Oh, tiger. Oh, they're all still moist in there as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Despite their unexpectedly long journey, the frogs are doing well.
One of the reasons I'd probably state that these are packaged quite well. You know, they're not overpacked in the bags, they've got plenty of room, the frogs have got nice tubs, they've got a bit of insulating foam in there as well, which will obviously help with heat retention, etc. We'll keep them at a nice constant temperature in here before they go tomorrow. No problem.
After a couple of hours, all 4 boxes have been checked, with no casualties to be found.
I'm really happy. It's not what I expected. They've been packaged quite well, so yeah, I'm impressed that we don't have to do anything else with them. So they'll be good to go tomorrow.
Both large-scale commercial shipments and globe-trotting pets need to be in and out of the Ark as fast as possible. But in the bird wing, there's a delay, as Animal Health Officer Heather and Vet Naomi are having problems locating Cockatiel Squeaky's ring number.
We need the number to make sure that everything, all the vaccinations, all the treatments that they've had correlate to that number. Without that number, this could be any bird.
Squeaky can't be confirmed as being disease-free and will have to spend time in quarantine before he can be returned to owners June and Dan, who've had him since he was a baby.
The band was put on by the vet about 5 days before we flew. He was biting at it, it's a white band, and he was really nibbling at it because it bothered him, as they've never been used to wearing bands at all.
Heather and Naomi look everywhere for the missing band,
She's hissing at me, she's livid with me.
even searching Squeaky's poo
There is no number on it.
and his food.
No, I can't see anything. I think Squeaky has eaten his own number.
You think he's eaten it?
Squeaky, naughty boy! And Squeaky, naughty boy, you have eaten your number.
But their investigations are drawing a blank. It's bad news for Squeaky.
And that means that we need to test it here. So probably we cannot release him.
He will have to remain in quarantine to be retested for any diseases that he might be carrying. And things aren't looking good for Holly either. There's been some confusion with her paperwork.
We sent out all documents in January and February. We didn't know that there was a form missing. Apparently it's a pet bird licence for Holly.
Without her license, Holly will also need to stay and be retested.
All right, guys, see you in a little bit. So they'll have to stay with us for about 10 days, but it'll kind of be like a bird hotel for them. We'll look after them, we'll give them food, water, they'll have nice fruit, they'll have a radio, toys, so they should be pretty happy. And then once the 10 days are up, as long as the test returns satisfactory, they'll be able to go back to their owners. It is frustrating that we can't get them back, but you know, we're here to enforce certain regulations. At least they'll be back with their owners sooner rather than later.
Buster, Dexter, and Emma were all couriered safely home. The large shipment of animals from Ghana got the all clear to leave and finally completed their journey after 6 days. And Holly, Squeaky, and Sam are happily back together with June and Dan in Yorkshire after their tests came back clear.